Order. I need some friggin' order in the cosmos. That's redundant. The word cosmos means order. So the order is already there. Y'all just gotta start picking up on it. The ultimate astrological example of the order of this cosmos is the Venus star point. I got one hanging back here that Allison's grandma made. So today we are examining the final Venus star point in Scorpio. It's coming up October 23rd of 2026 this year. And we got a lot to achieve by then. If we fail this final exam, we are looking at another 250 years playing Dungeons and Dragons. All role play, no real love. Speaking of role play, I ain't wearing that trash bag no more. Y'all put authority figures in all black, simulating the void, our vast, opulent, intelligent darkness. I ain't that smart, and nobody wearing them garbage bags is. So let's just relax and wear what we want. I got all the authority I need in my pearls. This is serious. We're at a serious threshold. I wish I knew how to better communicate urgency, but in reality, ain't nothing urgent. I just want to rush ya. But nothing on behalf of heaven is like, do it now. Unless you become the conscious agent operating in the third dimension that is like, do it now. But even then, you need a good amount of collective momentum behind you. And I ain't sure I got that at this point in human history. So let me tell you a little about how astrology works. Every transit, such as this Venus star point in Scorpio, is a window of opportunity. A Venus star point, which is one of the 5 points of that star, occurs in one sign for roughly 100 years. In our case here with Scorpio, it's exactly 100 years. We had our first Venus star point in Scorpio in 1926. And we got our last one this year in 2026. That's some raw poetry in motion, y'all. Puritry. But no, it's impuritry, because we have elevated the toxic to an art form in these 100 years. Well, anyway, that 100-year window of opportunity is coming to a close. Then the baton is officially handed off to Libra. Libra is harmony in the next octave of Venus. It's beauty. This is where a Venus star point wants to be. Unless it ain't handled its Scorpio business. So when we ain't handled our Scorpio business, this is what feels right. And if you try to put an imprisoned mind in paradise, it's gonna think you put it in hell. So y'all ain't free enough in your hearts, in your minds, to occupy this literal space called planet Earth, which is paradise. And I ain't saying it's your fault. You were set up. That snake in the garden, right? Here's some evidence for God being a woman. God was all like, don't eat that fruit off that tree. And then left you with eternity, knowing that's all you were going to want to do. It was a setup. God was also the serpent, just waiting on you to eat that forbidden fruit and kick off this whole game. We're not dealing with the why right now. Just the facts, ma'am. Anyway, those who are ready and willing within the window of opportunity, they take them opportunities. They graduate. They move on. they evolve. And those who ain't ready and ain't willing just don't. And that's a-okay. Because y'all got more than one lifetime to master living in friggin' eternity. And there ain't just one forbidden fruit. What we're really trying to do is wash out the allure of forbiddenness. It is a mighty project that we got going on here on earth. So don't let no feverish Pleiadian rush ya with any love and peace now agenda, okay? You take your time, because you gotta enjoy every delight of the dungeon to its fullest extent, or we can't make love and peace permanent. Okay, you know what? Let's talk some real facts. I know this ain't my strong point, but I got some real fascinating facts about y'all's timeline here on Earth. So, the devil ain't the card of Scorpio. That's actually this one right here, the death card. And what y'all are really struggling with right now is the death drive. Y'all are struggling to see the point of being alive. That is the essence of your Scorpio business. But let me remind you of the progress you've made and how quickly y'all have made it. Let's rewind to the year 1858. Y'all are dealing with some real crap in the summer of 1858. Literal crap. It was called the Great Stink. I've never been more fascinated, not enchanted, but forbiddenly fascinated by a single point in time. London's population had exploded. They were all pinkies up, floofy dresses, fancy pants, and the whole world was like, I want some of that. I want that white people stuff. So everybody went to London and just started crapping their fancy pants and floofy dresses. They didn't have the sewer system to accommodate that many people. And they were also real dummies at the time. They were getting cholera and they were blaming it on the air when they should have been aware that they were drinking poop water. Y'all didn't have the plumbing prowess at the time. Mario hadn't even been born yet. In the mind of his creator, there was nobody to come save Princess Peach from her own filth. The sewer system of the city of London was inadequate to accommodate the whole world wanting a piece of that white girl magic. And this is relevant to y'all's current point in history. Uranus in 1858 had just moved in to Gemini. This is the card of Gemini. Pedal to the metal toward paradise. Uranus just moved into Gemini. On Uranus in Gemini's time, we could get rid of this death drive by October. Just like in 1858, Uranus in Gemini brought in three heroes. No Mario, but it did pretty good for its time. We got Joseph Basil Jett, who, by the time Uranus left Gemini and entered Cancer, he got that sewer system going. He turned that Gemini gridlock into a Cancerian flow. He got the poop out of all them white girls' tea. And then we got the real Jon Snow, the true king of the North, a physician who called BS on the bad air theory. See, everybody at the time thought the stinky vibes were what was causing cholera. Gemini is an air sign, so it came to clear its own name. Okay, cholera was not air's fault. This wasn't no stinking thinking. going on. Well, it was. But John Snow cleared it up with his germ theory. There was creepy crawlies in the poo, enjoying the little spa of y'all's teacups. John Snow was the brilliant mind behind that revelation of the true facts of the fecal matter. Okay, another big one of 1858 and this whole Uranus and Gemini period. Good old Abe Lincoln. Little did them Americans know they weren't just escaping England to escape authority. They also got out of the way of that big stink. They were in the States arguing about slavery. In 1858, Abraham Lincoln wrote a real controversial speech where he expressed doubt that slavery could ever be gotten away with at all. London was entrenched in stench. America was entrenched in slavery. Things were looking real bad. But that pedal was on that metal toward paradise. And Uranus and Gemini got that 13th Amendment made to the Constitution of the United States of America by 1865, when Uranus left Gemini, beginning that reluctant crawl out of chains for the entire human population. Oh, and this one's just a fun one. We got Charles Darwin and Dickens, both there smack dab in the great stink, coming out with the origin of the species of the blah, 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 all the sciencey stuff, and A Tale of Two Cities, both published in 1859, both their best known works. So just see how the flowers always still pop up, and maybe it's even because of all that fertilizer. But honestly, I'd rather be a dumb weed with good plumbing. I would like the hero of this Uranus and Gemini to be you. And all you gotta do to be that hero is kill your death drive, put that pedal to the metal toward paradise, and just say no to slave cake. Don't entangle yourselves with dynamics or people who are enslaved to desire, to deep insecurity, to toxic fascinations with no redeeming qualities. Again, y'all have elevated toxicity to an art form. So some of you are mighty attached to the elegant display of this inverted pentagram. You've put central heat and air down in this dungeon, and you've used science to sanitize the ickiness. But the material ick ain't the true ick of the matter. The true ick is spiritual in nature. You can use John Snow's germ theory to reduce literal disease a little bit, but you can't erase dis-ease from your heart. Now I got a real practical first step for you in crawling out of this slavery. I know that for a lot of y'all, it's too late to begin that whole 9, which is a 9-year period after primary schooling of free reign forbidden fruit foraging. After that initial schooling, don't go get more schooling. What a crock of crap. You need 9 years of raw sexploration, not higher education. Your lowers come first, or your highers ain't got nothing to stand on. For some of y'all, that period has passed, and all you can do is clean up the mess. And because y'all are going through a massive psychological movement of reparenting yourselves, why don't we start at the start? I'm talking a revolution of potty training. I think y'all have desecrated the humble tree for long enough, and toilet paper has got to go. Y'all have the technology. Y'all have Amazon.com. Order yourselves a little honey fountain. Don't scrape and smear down there. Rinse. Release. Wash away. Here's the whole kit. Bidet attachment, rewashable cloths for wiping away that clean water from your nethers, a little step receptacle, or one of them with the swingy lid, something to put the washcloths into. And then, now this is bonus, but I highly recommend it, you get yourself some enzyme cleaner to throw into the washer when you're washing them nether napkins. Now this stuff will come in handy for so much more. It's worth the investment. But y'all seriously walk around with poop, pee, and lint just smushing around down there all day long. Re-engineer your underneath. Start at the root. Feel so fresh and so clean from the inside out. You'd be amazed what a little literal fix like this will do for all them larger metaphysical problems. Reparent yourself and don't skip steps. Get out of that gross diaper you got on right now. Go grab yourself a cosmic cleanliness kit and restore order to this cosmos. I love you so, so much. May the force purify your spirit.